Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. We are doing this live on Patreon this afternoon to get back into it. The Merseyside derby, the first game back from Project Restart. Baz, and did it go the way you thought it was going to go?
No, because I wasn't that confident, so I'm not gonna lie. As it got closer to kick-off, you'd always think, yeah, but neither team have played, and it's got to happen sometime. Couple of shocks maybe with the starting 11. Well, I mean, I say shocks. Obviously, Anthony Gordon starting was a bit of a surprise, although we know he's done quite well in training. And then Tom Davies in the middle. But then them two played in the middle at the Chelsea game, which was our last game, Gomez and Davies. So I suppose that wasn't that much of a shock, but I just thought he may go with someone like Gylfi Sigurdsson in the middle. But yeah, you know.
Well, I did the starting 11, and the team was, I got 10 of the 11. Sidibé, obviously, he's got a little injury.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether he would have started, but the manager said that Anthony Gordon trained well. Competed well and deserved his place, which is good to hear. Very young Everton side.
The youngest Premier League starting 11, wasn't it? For, I think, don't know whether it was ever,
or just in a
but
derby.
certainly for a derby and stuff, it was a very young Everton side.
Yeah, and obviously the manager showed faith in Tom Davies, you know, in Anthony Gordon. The other young players sort of picked themselves anyway, Richarlison, Mason Holgate, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So it was just a strange one. The whole thing was quite strange, wasn't it? We've obviously watched a lot of football, and we've seen the Premier League start this weekend, but wasn't sure how it would feel when it was actually your own side, and certainly being at home as well. You know, being somewhere, you know, little things like before the game, like thinking this is when I get picked up to go to the match, and all those little, this is when I'd be driving the match and this is where I'd be. And I don't know, you know, in the day I went for a run, and then I went to see my dad because it was Father's Day, socially distancing, of course. And I didn't get in the house till like 10 to 7. So it was all those little things were just very, very strange. And then to see the players in the tunnel and us coming out to the side and Z cars and then coming through the back door. But I'd keep that going. I'd actually have that every season.
Just do it now.
I'd have Liverpool coming through, just coming in from over there, whatever, and just give Everton all the attention. But how did it make you feel, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was weird. Obviously, I mean, I hate derbies anyway. I hate them. I think I said last week on something, the only one I've ever enjoyed was the 30 seconds after Andy Johnson headed the ball out of Rainer's hands, and I thought that for 3-0 we wouldn't, you know, there was no way we could lose that one with 30 seconds left. But in the day it was weird, you know, because there was still some nerves, just like a little bit of like, you know, what are we going to see? But then when, you know, I was the same, I think I put the telly on at 5 to 7, you know, just I'd watched a bit in the day. I've seen a bit of Villa and Chelsea, and you know, I put Newcastle on for 2 minutes and then realised I just don't like Newcastle, so I turned it back off. But it was weird seeing Everton run out at Goodison and not be there, and a derby, and seeing the two teams, and it was so strange. But it's something that we've all got to get used to very quickly, because this is the new normal at the moment, isn't it? Even though it was anything but normal, but it's something that we've got to get used to, certainly for the next few months. And to be fair, I thought the players did quite well. You know, we worried, didn't we, about what it'll be like without that intensity, and you know, you're playing against a team that's just ought to win the league. But
just before we go on to the match, what did you think of the presentation of the stadium?
I thought the Gladys seat was brilliant.
I mean, it always is.
And when you can hear them. I'd have liked that at the park end as well. The way they'd done the crowd and stuff, I think it would have looked great at the park end as well. By all means, have the banners above that, but certainly halfway. I'd have loved it all the way round, but obviously you've got to have an area for the players to sit as well. But I thought it looked okay. I thought it looked all right, yeah. Particularly the Gladys, because, you know, when it just flashed onto it at times, it looked like there was crowd there, obviously. There was banners, but I thought it was all right, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I thought they'd done it well, and obviously different things were represented, and you know, all good. So yeah, the match. I mean, listen, the match itself, like you just said, like it was always hard to know how the players react. That's the thing that we've always said so far. It's what we said in the match preview. It's really hard to know how players would react to the game. But it was obviously a very slow, cagey start from both sides, really, trying to find your feet, trying to understand. Almost, it was that thing of like, it's like a little bit of it's like the opening round of a boxing match. You don't know what your opposition's condition is, so you just want to get a feel for it. And you could see that early on. Both sides were just trying to get a feel for what the other side had. And you know, obviously we had the chance quite early on with Richarlison, zipped it past the far post, and you were thinking, oh, this is how it is. But I suppose after about 10 minutes, Liverpool just started getting control of the ball and keeping it well, but without actually going or doing anything with it. And that was generally the theme of the game, wasn't it? That they had a lot of the ball without actually doing anything with it.
Yeah, they finished with 70% of the ball, which is a hell of a lot. But didn't do anything with it of note, really. In that first, the opening 15, 20 minutes, I thought Everton done really well to just block off any passing lanes for them. I thought we had the one chance from the Richarlison. It was a misplaced header by Fabinho, and he raced onto it. And I actually thought he could have hit it a second earlier, but his angle, by the time he did it. But when I seen it again, I think Alisson gets a fingertip to it. But it goes Dom is trying to make his way and just can't get in at the back post. But it was a good opportunity, and that was I think he fired a warning shot to Liverpool there of like how direct he is, and they dropped off a little bit more then from that perspective. But they knocked it round better than we did. We know that they're a team that's about to win the league. You know, when they had, okay, they didn't have Salah and he didn't have Robertson, but we didn't have, you know, players who would have made our team better. So we had to make sure that we got into shape, and we had to make sure we blocked them off. And I thought the tactical side of it was evident early on. I thought Ancelotti got it absolutely spot on. But this is something we seen early on from Klopp with Liverpool. I remember when they played City and stuff, and he was like, we let them have the ball because we know they're better than us, but we're good at what we do. And over time, he's been able to take that the other way. So his team's the dominant team. And that's kind of what Everton have to do. It was Ancelotti's 12th Premier League game in charge. So we're only at the very beginning of this with a world-class manager, and he's given a tactical masterclass, if you like, of how you can disrupt the best team in the land by making sure you tight shape and stuff. So
I think it looked like a manager who'd had some time on the training field for the first time, really, since he'd come in. I thought during the game, it's a little bit different because you're caught up in the emotion of it, and you can't always see the plan unfolding. But when you look back at the game and you understand what he wanted, the players delivered that perfectly, I think. And you know, this is something he did at Napoli. He soaked up the pressure. It's something like you watch Atletico Madrid as well, how they beat Liverpool over two legs. It's exactly the same. It's soak the ball up, it's frustrate them, and then try and get something on the counter-attack. And it nearly worked for us in one respect, but I think the instruction would have been certainly for the first game. And this is probably what makes it a better performance than it looks like, because it is the first game, is be disciplined, get back into your shape, make sure, like you've just said, block them off. Don't give them any areas to run into. Don't make those silly mistakes. Be disciplined. And that takes drills and drills and drills, training sessions, just doing the base. And that for a footballer must be the worst thing in the world, because, you know, footballers, certainly better footballers, they're expressive. They want to, you take a player like Iwobi and you look at him and people will go, what did he do in the game, right? I fully understand that. I was saying that during the game. But it's afterwards that you look at it and go, well, Did anyone get past him? Did you ever see him caught upfield when someone else was the player he should be marking had gone and left him? No, he always got back. Andy Gordon did it on the other side. Now, we look at it as fans and think, we want them to go and take Liverpool on. But if the manager's instructions were not to do that, then that they did their jobs. And that, to me, is the hardest thing about playing football, to being a footballer, is to be given a job that has got no offensive reward in it, and then to do it. And I think that's why we should look at it as a really, really good piece of tactical football and coaching.
There's two ways to look at it, isn't it? There's two things that it brings out. I mean, we heard in Carlo's press conference before the game, he spoke about sacrificial. We have to be disciplined. We have to be sacrificial, almost. Some, people have got to be unselfish. And he means the likes of Iwobi, Anthony Gordon, predominantly attacking players. But what you have to do when you're going into a game, and particularly we're playing, you're looking at everything before this game. You're playing the team that's going to win the league. You're playing a team that is very, very quick on the break. We haven't played for 3 months. Liverpool had the game and won 6-0, so you're like, oh God, these are sharp already. They've got attacking prowess. So you're going into that game and think, well, hang on, we lost the last derby we played against kids at Anfield, a game we shouldn't have lost, but we did. Talking about possession, well, Everton done really well at Anfield, and we ended up losing the game. We were battered in the last league derby there. So the first game back, you don't want to lose to your local rivals. Everyone's got it down. Seeing people in our preview going, it'll be 6-0 to Liverpool, we haven't got a hope. So all that's going through your mind. It's come out, can we be disciplined? And then for players to take that on, it shows that when a world-class manager gives you instructions, then players have got enough belief and confidence in him to stick to the task. And you're right, when you're at home, you want to see your team attacking. In that game, I wanted Anthony Gordon to get it and run at them, and take risks, and the same with the Iwobi. But if we take risks and they go bum, 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 and we're 2-0 down, there's no way you're getting back into that game. And as we get better as a team under Ancelotti, then the flip will come to that. But there's many ways to win games. Yeah. We've seen there's the championship game yesterday, wasn't it? Cardiff and Leeds. Yeah. Leeds had all the ball. Cardiff beat them 2-0. And you've got Neil Harris. I heard this thing after the game, the Cardiff manager going, they've got better players than us and are a better side, but we knew we were disciplined. And he said some players had to do things they hated. They've been bored with drills we've done, but we've got the result. Same as what we've both
watched the Barcelona documentary, Take the Ball, Pass the Ball. And there's a moment in it on Reece talking, and he's like, I had to make this run all day. And he was like, at first I was like, why am I making this run? I hate this run. And then when it was explained to him, and it was like, you make that run, and suddenly there's 3 options available, and you might make that run 99 times, you might get it once out of that 99. 99 times out of 1,000. And that's how these people think. It's not how we think. It's not how the average football fan thinks. It's how they think. And it's so important, and that's where the discipline has to come in.
If we'd have took Liverpool on and tried to beat them, we'd probably got beat, wouldn't we?
Got beat.
So
of course we would have.
We've come out with a point. Okay.
This is what makes football the game it is. It's because you have to find, and this is where why football goes in cycles in terms of style, is because what happens is you have a great team, so you have like a Barcelona, pass, amazing, cut you open, and then someone has to find a solution to beat them, and then so Real Madrid found the solution because they're the nearest rivals, so then they go and win 3-4 Champions Leagues or whatever, and then someone has to find the solution to beating them. So we've had Man City in this country, and then so Klopp found a solution how to beat City at their own, and that's what happens. Someone has to find a solution to beat Liverpool then, and they're like, Carlo Ancelotti's already got that, and I imagine Diego Simeone would have looked at that, and he would have took that for how he beat Liverpool over 2 legs in the Champions League, and that's what
won both games, by the way.
And Watford did the same thing, the low block and then try and break on them. So that's what we did, and it doesn't always look pretty. Especially when, see, it's like when you watch Everton, you see Everton fans or fans of any team when they switch on Atletico Madrid, especially when Simeone's getting talked about for being a manager of this club or that club, you go, I couldn't watch this every week. But I suppose if you're an Atletico Madrid fan and you're educated to how they play and the rewards it brings, and you do watch it every week and you understand what it takes, then you won't have a problem with it. But it's when, if you watch that once in a while, then you don't know what's going on. So one of the big things that come out of the game was obviously the passing out the back on the goal kicks. Now it is, and I go back to the Burnley game, his first game, and we were doing this, and it was giving me heart attacks. And I must admit, it was giving me heart attacks in this game because you are playing against Liverpool, who are the best pressers in the Premier League and will swarm you. And in the first half, we nearly got caught with one. But the reasons they do it is because Liverpool are such a good pressing team, and it's to break the press, get on the other side of it. And I think there was one in the second half. One in the second half. It ended up with Gomez. Then Gomez gets the switch, and suddenly we're away. We're away. And if you get into the habit, it's got to start somewhere. If you get into the habit of that, if you start doing that regularly, if you start playing that, as dangerous as it looks for us. Look at Man City. Man City do brilliantly. They play out of the back, or they suck everyone in, and then the goalie dinks one into midfield, and they're wide open, and it gives them 2-3 options, and that's what Pep Guardiola's been so good at as a manager, is creating 2-3 options on the pitch, so the opposition don't know, even before the game, how to tactically stop you, and that's something we've seen in this game yesterday, and even though it was real heart attack moments, you can understand the logic, but because we don't watch it every week, and that'll be something like you said before, hopefully as we go forward, and Carlo Ancelotti gets more time. And by the way, Carlo Ancelotti is looking amazing. Honest to God, the Crosby diet.
It is.
No, at the end when he done the aftermatch, it was in front of the board and the microphone was there. I thought he was going to like break into opera. He just looked so good.
He's just ready.
But hopefully, as we see more of this and the players develop more of it and get into more of a habit of it, we'll get used to it as fans, and it'll be less heart attack football.
The other thing as well is that we won't play like that every week. We're not gonna give up 70% possession to most teams we play against. It's not gonna happen. We were playing against the top side, and when you're playing against the top side, you have to appreciate their qualities. They're a better side than us. But we're trying to build and get to that level where we can take them on at their own game then. If we'd have won the game, we'd be sat here even happier. You know, but I think what I took from and was taken from the game was the fact that they weren't cutting us open. In that first half, we give one away where Gomez got caught in possession, and it ended with a Roberto Firmino flashed the left foot shot wide, was comfortably wide in the end. Liverpool had a couple of opportunities from free kicks from Trent Alexander-Arnold. One Matip should have probably done better with. Other ones went to nothing. Then he had a shot, didn't he? Alexander-Arnold from about 30 yards, which Pickford made a decent save from. But other than that, they didn't really carve us open at all in that first half.
Do you know Oxley, whatever his name is?
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
No, Arnold.
Oh, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Do you know he was given man of the match?
Really?
Honestly. Like the Premier League sponsor, I think it was like Budweiser, he was given man of the match. Which is just bizarre. Man, just shows you that people...
I thought he was okay, but...
Just shows you that people just don't watch football. They watch other
I
things.
Thought Matip was good for Liverpool. I thought Naby Keita was...
Seamus Coleman was man of the match.
Oh, Coleman was man of the match.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
But then Coleman wasn't even Everton's highest rated player.
No, but my eyes tell me.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what it was.
So, I mean, they got into the groove. They got into the groove first half.
I thought the first half was...
The Matip one was the real chance.
The real opportunity.
It was the real chance.
But it wasn't as good as Richarlison's,
probably didn't come from an actual foul either, by the way.
No, it wasn't a foul.
Because the ref
Might be
and a terrible beard, and it's just a terrible ref.
Well, he is just a poor referee.
He's just a bad Sammy.
There was one on the challenge on Calvert-Lewin by Fabinho was a yellow card straight away. He didn't give it. And then he's just a terrible referee.
Just a terrible referee.
He's a poor
But, yeah, we had the Richarlison chance. We didn't really have anything ourselves after that in the first half.
No, we had the header from Richie, but he was offside, wasn't he, off the free kick?
Yeah.
And we had the other one where Anthony Gordon backheeled it and he hit it, but the shot got blocked. We didn't really carve any.
And we didn't really... again, it was the discipline. There was a big gap between the midfield. They were getting the ball. We were soaking it up, but we were finding it hard to hit the areas where Dom could get a run or Richarlison could get a run. And that was really the story of the first half, wasn't it? You know?
Felt each other out, didn't he? I thought Tom Davies and Gomez were quite disciplined in the first half as well. I thought Davies was better than Gomez in the first half. I thought that switched in the second half. I thought Gomez had a better second half. But in general, I thought everybody, just Luca Dean was very good on that left-hand side. I mean, Alexander-Arnold, the only real times he had on the ball where he caused us any issues with from dead balls. There was nothing really in open play. I thought Dean got out quickly and blocked that off Iwobi as well. Gordon as well on that side. I thought we'd done well. Obviously, Liverpool lost Milner with an injury, but probably caused us more of an issue when Gomez come on because of his pace. Where, you know, Milner's good and he's solid and dependable, but I feel as though we probably could have got at him a little bit more. Where Joe Gomez has got quicker recovery, hasn't he? But, you know, the first half we felt each other out, and it got to half time, and I think, you know, not that much of that happened. And the player who, for me, is Liverpool's best player, which is Sadio Mane, hadn't really done it.
No, he was going looking for the ball, wasn't he? And then, you know, you can, I mean, he started with Minamoto and the drop off in quality.
Minamino.
Whatever. The drop-off in the quality with him and Salah is just, it's just huge, isn't
Talking
it?
about
No, but I'm just saying that's huge. That's a huge drop-off. And they just, Mane looked up for it, but none of the other attacking players really looked that up for it. So, and again, second half, it followed the same path, didn't it? And they had loads of the ball.
I thought they come out the first 25 minutes of the second half. I thought they were on it. I thought they come out looking real. Certainly the first 20 minutes, they looked really sharp. I thought Keita started getting on the ball and trying to do things moving forward. And we had to, for the first time in the game, because I don't think we had to do in the first half. I think we just kept our shape. And it played out the way it played out. We looked a threat on the break. I think they were worried about us breaking on them. But Richarlison had that one where he carried a great little run. He should have popped it off out wide and got it back, and he tried to take the extra man on. This is just in the first half, but his direct running, Dom was knocking them about a little bit. I think they were worried about us on the break. But the second half, they come out and they really got a grip of the ball. Henderson started getting on the ball and they started popping it off with Keita, and we really had to concentrate then, and that was the bit really that got us the results. That first 20 minutes after half time when they were on top, we had to just stick to our task. And I think people were getting important foots in. Coleman, a couple of times, Manny tried to run him, he wouldn't let him, he stuck with him. I thought Coleman was brilliant. Yeah,
Coleman was brilliant. But it is that discipline that we spoke about. That's that key moment where you suddenly have 8 outfielders just on the edge of the box, and suddenly there becomes a lot of players, and it's about concentration. Then a lot of players in one area, a lot of concentration then comes into it. Remembering to stick with your man, remembering to do your job. And also because you are on the edge and you're just kicking it away, it did feel like it was inevitable that they would get something. You would feel in that, and you know, you listen to the commentators and they're cranking it a little bit and like, oh, they're going to get something. But we, you know, again, you look at Jordan Pickford. He hasn't had anything to save apart from set pieces, a few punches and, you know, good catches and stuff like that. He hasn't. So we've stopped them creating chances in that period where they were dominant on the ball.
They only really had the one where Keita knocked it in.
And he knocked it wide. Yeah, that was the only real moment. It went wide, and we got through that period, and then they started to, you know, they started to make subs where we weren't making subs. I thought that was interesting. The amount of subs they made to us.
Well, he made 5, didn't he?
Yeah,
2 were in force, but he still made.
And we made 3, but 2 of them were in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, more just like.
Well, Moise Keane was just come on to kill the game because it was done, wasn't it? Really, although he did win a header, and then that was it.
But it was. You know, they were picking up little niggly injuries and stuff like that, and obviously, the big one they got was at the back, wasn't it?
Matip going off.
Matip going off and Lovren coming on.
Lovren coming on, and then that coincided with us stepping up a level.
Yeah, because Sigurdsson had come on, hadn't he? And Sigurdsson had just give us that extra body in
experience
midfield
as well. I think Anthony Gordon, I think the first half, and just right at the start of the, it was the end of the first half, wasn't it, when we had that one opportunity, we skipped inside and he could have played Dom in. He should have played it early, and I said this about Tom Davies, and it's something Don Hutchison said when we spoke to him, is that the first pass you see is often the right pass, because you're scanning quickly and you see it, and that's the one. And then what happens with some players is, and Ross Barkley's brilliant at doing this, he does brilliantly, that passes on, and then he thinks, hang on, is there a better one? And by the time you took that look and look back, that pass is gone then, and then you end up giving the ball away, or it's the wrong opportunity, where if you look at the best players, they see a pass and bang, it's in there, and that's how you get people through. And Anthony Gordon skipped inside brilliantly, and if he rolls that into Dom, we're in the box 2v2, he doesn't, he hesitates, and then he still plays a good ball to Richarlison, and they have to, I think Van Dijk just smashes it out for a throw-in because Richarlison's coming across him, but if he'd just seen that pass a second earlier, we were in. And he was starting to get further back, Anthony. Rightly so, first Premier League start, and it's against Liverpool in the first game back, So difficult for him. But I think what Gylfi done when he come on was he just sat in there for us, used his experience, made sure he was disciplined, because that's the one thing he'll probably do, Sigurdsson, is that he'll listen to what he's asked to do and go and do it.
To be fair to Sigurdsson, the pace of the game is perfect for him.
It did suit him because it wasn't a fast and furious. But the derby followed. If you look at the last 3 derbies at Goodison, they've all followed the same pattern. The first half's been cagey. Liverpool have had the opening 20 minutes of the second half, and Everton have finished the stronger team and could have won it in the last 3 years. You think back to when Allardyce shivered down your spine, but when Allardyce was in charge, Cenk Tosun, Dominic Calvert-Lewin missing open goals at the end. The last season one, the 0-0 at Goodison, we finished the stronger. Bernard and a centimetre away from winning it for us. Liverpool are hanging on near the end with the pressure. And then this was the same. We rode out that 20-25 minutes where they were dominant. Yeah. And then Everton, Lovren comes on, and that might have coincided with he's not as quick as Matip. Richie started knocking him about, Dom, a little bit. And we then step up a little bit. We start playing a little bit higher up. And there was that moment where we drew them in, and your heart's in your mouth. But because we go bum bum, break the press, and Gomez switches it, we're on the attack, and then the last 15 really, Everton have had 3 or 4 great opportunities to win the game.
Well, Richarlison gets the first one, doesn't he? A good ball by Dom.
Great ball by Dom.
And he just lashes at it, doesn't he?
He does. The first touch is good. He flicks it up, so it's bouncing, and you're thinking, hit it now, back across him, because Alisson hasn't set, and you'll catch him out. And he doesn't. He flicks it again, and then by this time he's done that, his angle's gone. Van Dijk's with him, and he ends up just lashing it over the street end. And you think, if you'd have just took that, if you wouldn't have took that extra touch, you might have caught Alisson out going back across him. But that was a threat again to them, is that one ball and we're in. Because they're not, Van Dijk doesn't like running the other way. He's fantastic when it's in front of him. He doesn't like going the other way. And Richarlison's a strong runner like that. So we had that one, and then obviously we had the biggest moments in the game with less than 10 minutes left.
Yeah, down the left for Richarlison. I mean, again, Lovren.
Caught under the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's done everything right, really, Richarlison. He's found Dom, and Dom makes a lovely little run. Little movement in front of Van Dijk, and Dom, Richarlison picks him out perfectly. And it's brilliant from Dom, really, because I was thinking, flick it, can't catch the goalie, and he nearly does. He's just like, that little flick.
Good save.
No, it was like one of them. It doesn't look like a good save, but I don't think he's expecting that.
It's the instinct, isn't it? He's flicked it. A lot of keepers would have just stood there flat-footed, but he didn't. He made it.
But even things like that, you're thinking, if that takes like a tiny ricochet of one of their players, it goes in, and keeper makes, and it comes out to Tom, and And the worst thing about this is that you're looking at an Everton player 6 yards out with just the goalie to beat, and in your head you're just thinking, we're going to score here.
One outcome.
And that's the worst thing, is that you've got enough time to think we're going to score
Because
here.
it broke to him.
Yeah.
One outcome, that's all I had. When he threw his foot back, I just thought we'd score.
And I'm thinking, if
couldn't
that's...
see him missing.
When it goes and you just see it at the post and you just think that's the most Everton thing in the world. And then when you watch the replay and you see their lad got a little touch on it.
Nicks off Joe Gomez.
And
It's going in, I think. And it nicks off, or they put Alisson under pressure again. Nicks off Gomez. It could have gone in. And I think for Liverpool at Anfield, that it's the post and goes in.
Well, it's...
But that's belief. We don't believe we can beat them at the moment.
Listen, I don't...
That's how it feels.
I can't criticise Tom for what he's done. Listen, if that's Tim Cahill might just smash that into the top of the roof.
I think if you hit a high
of the goal, because that's that kind of player. Tom just is probably just trying to get a good connection on it, he's put it back across.
He does listen, at the time when he hit it, I couldn't believe he'd missed, and it hits the post, and it's like, oh my God. I've watched it again. I watched it again last night. I've looked at it again today. He keeps it down. He does everything you're told to do. Keep it down, put it back to the other corner. It's what he does. It nicks off Joe Gomez. Doesn't nick off Joe Gomez. I think he scores. I think it goes in. Nicks off Gomez, and it could hit the post and go in. Hits the post and comes out, and Van Dijk puts it out. But it was a real warning for them. 2-in-1.
Even from the corner.
And then
it's like the West Ham goal.
See, I think Dom should score that. But then I looked at it again, and it's
so fast.
It's quick, but it's it's where he is. He heads it straight. He can't have a goal. But if he's a foot over, it's a goal because it's in the top corner. Just one.
It's like the West Ham one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
instinct
great
again.
Corner, great flick, and he's got himself to the back post, and he looks at it like he thinks he should have done better.
But again, that's a flick, and you've thrown your head at it, haven't you? And
which is always.
And then, even after that, we then have another one where Richarlison gets in.
Well, again, Richarlison against Lovren does him, cuts inside, and as a centre forward, you can understand he just wants to hit this. He wants to beat his mate in goal. And for that split second, and this is the thing about TV and everything else. There's a moment where you stop it, and he's got a 5-yard clear ball to Iwobi. Right? Who's on his own. Now, yeah, we can all do that. We can all stop that telly in that moment and go, yeah. But number one, if you're a centre forward, you generally don't have any other thought. He's already beat Lovren. He's cut in.
Sends him the chippy, doesn't he?
And he's like,
flick.
All I've got to do is try and hit the target here. And yes, there's a ball, but that ball, you watch that ball, the ball to Iwobi's only on for a split second. The next second, there's a leg in the way.
When you're a striker and you've done that initial turn and you flicked it back, you scan immediately. And when he scans immediately, there's red shirts as well. So imagine if he'd have rolled that across and they'd have just cleared it, everyone would have gone, why isn't he shot? Because he's created this angle. Dom, I think, has got men round him, so he can't square it to his mate. Iwobi's making the run I've seen. A lad who does some stat stuff, and he's done a still and he's played a ball. He's done the arrow to Iwobi, and it looks simple.
Yeah, of course it does.
And if he'd have had the chance to stop the ball and then look and play it, then yeah, but he doesn't. He's flicked it back to Lovren's gone there. It's back onto his favourite foot, and he's gone like that. Nothing's on, and he's had the shot. And Alisson, how many times did they squirm under the keeper? Yeah. And you go,
well, he bounces someone and go in.
And he hits it, and Alisson makes a good save again because he's covered his post. We can stop everything and go, why hasn't he just rolled that square? It is what it is. If he'd have had a little bit more time, maybe he would have picked Iwobi out. There's no guarantee if he picks Iwobi out, Iwobi scores. Okay, it looks at the still. It looks like Iwobi will take a touch and the goals is. That's the way it is.
Who'd you be more confident in that position with that ball there?
Yeah,
Richarlison having a shot.
Of course. But I think if he's got more time, then I would be saying you've got to roll that across. But it's the flick. And the minute he winds his foot up, that pass isn't on anyway. When he's done the flick, the pass is on.
And also, it's the 87th minute of the game.
It was 88.
Do you know what I mean?
That goes in.
Your body's a little bit... Your body's gone, your mind's on the way.
No sharpness.
No, Richarlison mightn't even have seen that pass.
No, that's what I'm
because
saying.
He's only got...
You flick the ball and the scan, which you do as a striker, is red. I'm getting the shot away. Do you know what I mean? If there's nobody there, you can look up before you've got to shoot. You'll see players look up and go, there you go, you have it. But he's flicked it and hit the shot, and Alisson saved it. And if it goes in, we're all singing, he's Brazilian, aren't we, and made up. And Alisson makes a really good save. Well, a good save, he should save it anyway, near post. But he makes a good save, and that was it, wasn't it? But the way we finished the game, Liverpool were hanging on a little bit. And then we go and give a stupid free kick away on the edge of the box. Yeah. Tom Davies.
Yeah.
It does brilliantly.
Yeah.
And then decides to do the... When it's near the end, just put your foot through the ball, smash it into their corner flag, reset and go again. And he does the chop when we lose the ball, and they end up getting a free kick from it. I think it's Richarlison, isn't it?
Richarlison jumps in.
Just dives him in his knee or whatever.
Just to stop the lad. The lad had beat a couple of players, hadn't he? And he was probably just trying to halt it.
And then obviously Pickford makes a good save from the free kick. Yeah. He should save it, but it's still a good handover.
But even the corner, we dealt well with the corner.
And we dealt well with the corner, and that was it really, wasn't it? We brought Moise Keane on,
but we've just spoke about what, 4 chances there that we had in the last 5 minutes.
It's interesting. I looked at the XG for both teams, and the XG had it. Like Everton was 0.6, Liverpool was 0.6 something as well. So it was 0-0. There was no one had clear opportunity where you should say even the Tom Davies wanted where it was and where they were. It wasn't like one. You should definitely score from there. So that said it all. If you look at the chances on target, both had 3. Obviously, they don't include the one on target. It's the post because it's at the post. So,
it was interesting listening to like Carragher after the match. They asked Cahill, and Cahill was like, "Did Everton deserve to win that?" He was like, "No, not really." And then Carragher was like, "Yeah, Everton should have won it." And it was just dead funny because it was like, it was almost making out like,
you'll never get a better.
Get a better chance. It was like, it was it was like twisting the narrative to like, oh, Everton,
Everton blew it.
Everton blew it rather than like, I thought that was quite interesting.
I thought it was interesting because beforehand, it was how well prepared Liverpool were, and we wouldn't be able to cope with them and all that. So then to flip it at the end to say, oh, you'll never get a better chance. Well, why? Why won't we get a better chance? Hopefully we'll have better players and a better understanding of what our manager wants. And when the crowd are there, all swings it that way.
The interesting thing was the crowd not being there. Do you think, because I've seen a couple of people mention this on social media, do you think the crowd not being there actually allowed the game plan to work better because players didn't get excited or were encouraged to kick on, and the passing from the back didn't get, obviously the nervous crowd noises, whichever ones you would like to add to it. But
we said this the other day, didn't we? Who's a person who you can visibly see get nervous if he makes a mistake? Michael Keane. Michael Keane was excellent and put a foot wrong.
But apart from kicking Manny up in the air, but... No, and I'm just saying.
But he went for a tackle, didn't he? And mistimed it. Mane's quick. Do you know what I mean? Other players kick plays up in the air. It is the way it is. Michael Keane was excellent. You have to say that, whether you or not. But Iwobi stuck to his job. With the crowd might have wanted him to push on a little bit and leave his position because we want to go forward. So maybe there is, but you can't also deny that the crowd might have made Liverpool a bit nervous, which they have done in the past few years. They came to Goodison last year on winning every game, and the crowd were intense, and they ended up hanging on trying to get a point. So, do you know what I mean? I don't think we can quantify the crowd either way. I think it might have helped players stick to a game plan, but it also might have been enough to carry us through for a victory. We don't know, but I just thought we stuck to the task well. And I thought when you look at everything, I don't think anyone could really make a case for either team winning. We can say we could have won because we had the better chances. Liverpool dominated the possession. But when you look at 9 attempts by Everton, 10 by Liverpool, 3 on target from each. Everton had 8 shots inside the penalty area. Liverpool had 5, I think. That might tell you a little bit more about the quality of chances. But in general, I think when the whistle went, you kind of went, yeah, 0-0, probably about right. But as it blew, you sit there and think, but we had really good chances or moments where you thought we could win the game. And, there's no guarantee if Tom Davies scores that Liverpool don't equalise, of course. There isn't. We've seen that one of the games I thought we'd won the game was when Lukaku's put us 3-2 up, because they were gone in that. We should have won that game by 5 or 6 goals. Mignolet was incredible, and they still went and equalised. So there would have been no guarantee, but I think you come out of it and you say 0-0, good performance tactically, and as we get better, hopefully we'll be a team that then can show more offensively. Because I think the key going forward is, if when we're playing teams who aren't as good as us or who aren't as good as Liverpool, we will be more offensive minded in the game. But what it did show was 4-4-2 is a great system when it works, in terms of being able to disrupt teams. Can you be better going the other way? Can you get a little bit more quality in wide areas to cause people problems while still sustaining those 2 banks of 4? And it's why Ancelotti likes it. It's why a lot of managers liked it over the...
Well, there was a fluidness to it, that wasn't it, as well? It wasn't just rigid 4-4-2. It did change at times. It did move. And that's where, you know, in going forward, when we want to be more offensive rather than defensive to win games, hopefully it'll work better. But we mentioned Seamus Coleman before, didn't we? So let's have a little look at those numbers.
For him.
Touches 52, successful passes 16, pass accuracy 70, but his recoveries 8. That's excellent.
That was key. 8 recoveries was massive for us.
Successful tackles 4, clearances 3, interceptions 2, aerial duels 1, 2. Again, all looking good. Yeah. So he was brilliant, wasn't he? He just. Again, it was more a defensive role. He never went past the halfway line, I don't think. It was a job he was given to do, and he stuck to it perfectly. And obviously, you know, when you go back to certainly the derby at Anfield in the league, you know, how many the times we got caught, and Sidibe got caught.
Hauled off after.
With that, certainly with the long ball, you know, trying to get up the pitch. That was never going to happen. And I think there was one in the first half. They did try that diagonal ball. I think Coleman was inside our box. That's how deep we were at the time, and obviously we were prepared for that. And that was never going to happen. It was never going to happen yesterday.
You've got to give your opponents respect in that manner, and you've got to have done your own work. And Ancelotti would have only had to go back to the Anfield derby. Like you said, Sidibe there, and I think didn't he come off after half an hour or something at Anfield? Sidibe took him off, didn't he? Because that was Marco Silva, but we were getting chased down that because he was leaving gaps. And I think the problem is, for me, Liverpool's best player is Mane, and he's your threat. And so if your right back can't go charging on and leaving a gap behind him, it's okay if you're confident you'll keep the ball and you can give and go, and then he has to make him run the other way, then that's okay, and he will do that. But Liverpool's midfielders is so, they're quite mobile, so they go and tuck in and cover up for where Mane leaves that gap. But Coleman didn't want to give up that space, because if Liverpool broke out, we seen at Anfield, he destroyed us, Mane. At Anfield, he absolutely destroyed us. And so you nullify it, don't you? That's what you do. You're playing against top players, you try to nullify them, and then everything else balances out, and that's what happened. You know, it's no coincidence. On the other side, they had Minamino. Luca Dean raided forward many a time, because Trent Alexander-Arnold, as good as he is going forward, he ain't the greatest defender, but he's such quality in possession of the ball and the way he puts the ball in, that you can get at him defensively. You've got to be on your mettle when he's running at you offensively, because he puts a great ball in. And Dean did that brilliantly, and that's something that we saw in the Burnley game, Ancelotti's first game in charge, when we beat them at home on Boxing Day. Coleman went and played almost as a third centre-back, and Luca Dean went and played as a left winger. It's something he did a lot with Napoli. One full-back tucked in, the other one went and played as a winger, and he'd done this to Liverpool. When they beat Liverpool in the Champions League this season, wasn't it? Early part of the season. That's what he did, Ancelotti. He played 4-4-2, but his left full-back went and pushed so high on Trent Alexander-Arnold that it unbalanced Liverpool. They didn't quite know how to deal with it. And Napoli had obviously some good quality, and had midfielders like Allen who could get around the pitch quicker, and Fabian Ruiz the other one. So they were able to cover the spaces, whereas our midfield isn't quite as quick as that. Well, it's not as quick as that. but we did show that, and the Coleman kept the discipline, and because of that, he was absolutely brilliant. And we've seen this this season with Wilf Zaha. He was a real threat come to Goodison. Coleman just had him in his pocket. So I think for Seamus Coleman, 31 now, so obviously he's got to be, you know, time his runs properly. But he's proven that doing a defensive man-to-man job, he's excellent at that. And if Everton can maybe get someone who's a bit more creative ahead of him, then Coleman might have a bigger part to play going forward. We're all crying out for a Luca Dean, right-footed Luca Dean, someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold who can get forward and create, and that's something Sidibe does. We don't do anything the other way. And we need something that's a balance in between the two, really, don't we?
Yeah, I suppose you wonder if like the likes of the Arsenal game, if Coleman had been playing in that game,
would we have been
at right back with a,
we'd have probably had a better result, It's a thing, isn't it? It's what Sidibe gives you going forward.
Yeah, of course.
Coleman.
But it's for different games, that's what I'm saying.
And that's what you're after.
One game you might need Sidibe because you feel like you can take a team on. And then there'll be other games where you look at like that and you go, well, Coleman was the player.
That's what
I mean, obviously you want a player who can do both. That's generally...
Of course, yeah. But you do have that. Liverpool have done that with Milner over the past, haven't they? Stuck Milner out there and gone do a job. He's not the same as Andy Robertson. He doesn't raid up and down the line for 90 minutes, throwing crosses in and getting forward, but he gives them a solidity when he's there with, and maybe, I've seen Klopp do that with Trent Alexander-Arnold, take him out for some games and play Fabinho at right back in certain games, because they think, we actually need to be more defensive here, and he gives us, you know what I mean? So, good managers, Pep's done it. You look at it and go, for this game, we need this. And Coleman, fair play to him, he stuck to the thing. The other play we spoke about was Richarlison before, and again, he had another... He was
29 touches, shot 5, shots on target, 2 successful passes, 7 chances created, 1, obviously the one for Dom, pass accuracy 64, successful dribbles, 3 successful tackles, 1, and obviously 1 unsuccessful tackle on the edge of their on the edge of our box.
Which wasn't great, but he's a player who's improving week after week.
Yeah,
he didn't have a great game.
No, I actually thought Dom played better because I just...
It's funny though, you know, in the ratings he was much higher. No,
I understand that. But I just thought that Dom... They're two different players, and I tell you why I think they're two different players, right? And there's one moment that is him throwing a tackle in the last minute on the edge of our box. That's where the two different players. His head... his heart rules his head. Yeah. Where I think Dom plays more with his head. I think Dom's the kind of player who runs up and tries to win. If the ball gets hit long, we'll knock it out for a throw and then we'll box them in. He's the kind of player who doesn't try and he tries to keep it in
and run
then try and run at them. That's what I'm saying.
But that's why they work.
And that's why they work together. And that's why I thought Dom just had a better game, because I just thought he was just a bit more switched on. When it needed to be switched on. I think he's a little bit... I think Dom... But the differences is that mentality in the right player will get you to the absolute top of football, because you are playing with... And he's also the kind of player where doubters have maybe looked at him and gone, you won't do what you do. His heart takes over then, and suddenly he will do what he wants to do. He's the expression of football. Dom is like the coaching of football. Do you know what I mean? It's, as I say, and I just thought Dom was just a little bit more switched on to the game.
He's got that South American mentality of I'm never beaten.
But that's why they're such a form of good partnership. Dom sticks up front. He becomes a number 10. He drops in. He goes looking for the ball. He then becomes...
Do you think the way we play, because that's how we did play, and when you look at the positions... that the pitch, he was very close to Dom, but in a number 10 role, almost dropping in, and it was at times a 4-4-1-1. But you think with better wide players, or players who know exactly what Ancelotti wants, that means that we can become more offensive in those areas where your two centre midfield players do. One can get past them, but your wingers are offering more of a threat, and that allows him to not only link up with Dom, but to go and roam and to bring in your two wide players as well, because he's a fantastic
But footballer. I also think, though, with if you've got a better centre midfielder or a centre midfielder who joins in more, and I know Obi gets in the box for that chance he had, But if you've got another centre midfielder in there for that one, joining up,
It's options, isn't it?
it gives you an option, and suddenly you haven't got 3 red shirts in front of you because one's dropped off to worry about that other player, and all these things are what we need. We need
going forward. We definitely
we spoke last week. Did a video on Patreon about Andre Gomez. Why isn't Andre? I know probably more to do with what the managers told him, but in that instinct, why isn't Andre Gomez himself bursting into the box there to offer some? Because even if it's just a decoy option,
but they have to mark him.
Someone has to pull out, and if someone pulls out and that gives Richarlison a half second, or if that player pulls out to go to Andre Gomez and then Iwobi, then it becomes free.
There's a gap.
Then maybe Richarlison gets that extra second to see Iwobi, and that's where with better players you become more comfortable. And that's where also in these games, that's why, hang on. Oh, there was another one there. Clearances 1 foul committed, 2 fouls suffered. Didn't even know there was an extra one there. That's where that's why they end up making 5 subs. And we only make really 1. I know we made 2, but 2 more, but we only really made 1 to affect the game. Whereas they're making constant changes, whether it be because they've got injuries, because there's more faith in the squad.
Do you think going forward we'll see more subs from Ancelotti in different games? Because
I
think he didn't make the subs because the game plan was drilled into him.
The game plan was working.
Was drilled into him.
You don't make subs when the game plan's working and it's drilled in, and you don't have faith in the players coming on. Whereas like Liverpool or City or whatever, when they've got more players, you understand what is needed. And that's because during the season, you are playing a similar style all the time. Don't forget, teams like Liverpool and Man City, the style is embedded. It's just about adding. Whereas our style is not embedded. You said it before, 12th game. First time he's had a break to get players to understand the system. So our players are very new to what he wants. He's already said, in the head of this game, we'll look at the system at the end of the season. We're not changing the system now. It's 4-4-2, and the way we move it around, we'll maybe have a little look, depending on who we bring it in or whatever, but we're not. This is not the time. How we use the system, yes, that's different. But you've got to have every single player drilled on that. Liverpool, they've got all their players understand it. It's why when we played them in the Cup and they brought kids into it, their kids are drilled into it. And that's why you could understand why he only made that 1 sub. Gylfi Sigurdsson come on at the right time. They changed a couple of players. It fitted in. I seen it in the comments after the game. Why wasn't Bernard playing instead of Iwobi? Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? If he didn't trust a player like, you're looking at Bernard, you're going, well, Bernard would have done this and Bernard done that. Man, it's like, I don't want that.
What was weird was when he brought Bernard on. Bernard went into the middle of the
central.
Park, central, and Richarlison went to the right. He almost played 4-5-1 for the last 5 minutes, didn't he? Yeah. So again, that's good though, because that shows you there's a bit of flexibility there as well. I mean, one person we did mention just before we finished was Anthony Gordon. Obviously, he's only 19. Yeah. It was his first Premier League start, thrown in to a Merseyside derby. I thought he was disciplined, which is a big thing. I think you said before, a little bit lightweight maybe.
Not maybe. Like, he's lightweight.
Well, he's a big lad. He's a tall lad, but I think he's got to get.
He reminded me of Ross Barkley when he got into the team. There's a player. You can see there's a player. That's not an issue. But look how Mason Holgate, look how they filled out in the last couple of years. Mason Holgate, I seen the other day a video of him walking off the training pitch, and he's got like his arms are bulging. He's got his shorts pulled up. You can see his thighs. He's gone up another. Dom could be a fitness model.
Dom's been in the first team for
I know
4 years.
I'm not criticising, but I'm saying. I'm not saying he can't. He's only he's 18 years of age. 19, yeah, he can only be what he is. The muscle will come. He needs the experience. I've got no problem with that. But you can understand that what what he does in the under-23s, how does he translate that into the first team? Well, it'll take time, and it'll take a little bit, that experience. That experience comes from playing in games like this and looking at the opposition and going, like you said before, there was another one actually where in the first half there was a ball and it got cut out he hesitated for a moment, and Richarlison made a run and the ball was the right ball, but because he'd made it just a split second too late, their player, there wasn't enough weight on it.
Yeah,
and it just got cut off. And it's things like that where you've got to understand where maybe when you're in under-23s you can play a little bit of a slower pass because the player won't get there. In here, you've got to fire it. Yeah. You've got to fire it, and you've got to understand when you fire it, it's fine. Richarlison will take that because he's a good player. So you fire it into them. Also, if he's going in for 50-50s and fellas coming in with a shoulder, if he's not got the physicality, he's got to understand then how do I get there first? Or if I get there first, how do I get there first and just let him knock me over? It's a foul. And I think they're the little things, but
he's got quality, hasn't he? There's undoubtedly.
Lad's got quality. The manager's shown great faith in him. You know, this season he's quietly come into the first team, got on a couple of times, shown a little bit. I think what we just haven't really seen yet in any of his performance, maybe apart from West Ham, is what he can offer. In the final third. Yeah. Like he's not. If you watch him, you wouldn't go, he's done this or
you
he's
don't know what
that.
he's good at, really,
yeah.
do you?
So, and I think unless you've watched them in the under-23s, and don't forget in the under-23s, this was his breakout season in the under-23s. Yeah. Last season he was in and out. He was on the bench a lot in the under-23s. This season he started because we'd moved a couple of players on, and that's how it should be. But what he is a perfect showing of how the under-23s should be, where a player comes into the under-23s because players have moved on, come in, have a few good games, and then suddenly the manager and the first team is looking at him going, oh, he looks good. I'll take him now. And I think that's where... So the next 8 games, in and out, I imagine, given opportunities, come off the bench now. Manager knows he can trust him, he can play in a system. Maybe get a few more... I don't know, he might start against Norwich, we don't know. But
and in a game against Norwich, you'd expect him to have a little bit more freedom. You'd expect him to get on and have a run. Because you want to see he's quick. We've seen he's quick. You want to see him get the ball and start being offensive. And I think that's what we're talking about, aren't we? Games where maybe Everton are the team that are doing the pushing and trying to win the game. Players like him will probably see more from Iwobi, Bernard, them kind of games, and we're the team that's on the front foot, whereas this one was very much a disciplined performance. But it won't do him any harm, will it, playing an hour in a Merseyside derby? No. And it's just another little thing on his developments, you know. Yeah. He's had a couple of substitute appearances, now he's had to start against Liverpool. And he'll be looking now, thinking, right, I've seen the level, I've just played against a team that's going to win the league. I've had a look at close quarters, what their qualities like, and what you have to do to be a player like they've got. Can only do him good.
And the manager will appreciate the fact that the teams we play against aren't going to be up to that level. And there aren't going to be any crowds in the stadiums. And that just knocks them down a little bit. And if he can get up to that level, then he's halfway there, because then you say to him, well, if you can get there and you get competitive on their level they're on, then that can only go one way then. And next season you have to step up again.
Well, it's not going to do many harm, is it?
No.
And for next season, because that's what he should be building towards, giving the manager, you know, an issue in terms of who they would play. Does Anthony Gordon just come in? Is he one of my first choice now? You know, that's what he's got to do, isn't he? He's got to go up against the likes of Iwobi and Bernard and go, I want to play, and I'm good enough to play, and he'll do that by working hard, like you say, continue to bulk up a little bit, and just make decisions a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
If you do that, then things will come off for you, and then the confidence goes up then, and you start fizzing them balls in. To Dom and Richarlison, like you were saying, you get them in early, or you get half a yard and you bang it. And like you said, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's done for the 23s. Can he do that at Premier League level? It's a whole different ball game playing in the Premier League. But interesting.
There you go. It's the last 5. You have to go back the other way.
There you go.
There you go. We're live. Listen, final word back. and we'll have another one on Thursday.
We will, yeah.
Coming thick and fast. We're going to have to change it up against Norwich a little bit, aren't we? But we will discuss that when we do the match preview for the Norwich game. There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on the Merseyside derby. Did you get into it? Was it what you thought it was going to be? Was it better? Was it worse? And what did you think about the performance? Now having, 24 hours to have a little think about it and understand what Carlo Ancelotti was going for in
some
the match.
Comments there, and he didn't read them. Do we want to read a couple?
Go on if you want to read a couple.
Simon Rouse said, afternoon everyone, pleased with the result, although feel as though we could have nicked it. I'm still happy to get a point from a tough fixture. Stuart Thompson said, I wished we had not given them the possession but understood the reasons. Overall thought we were unlucky not to win. But that was the game plan though, let them have the ball, wasn't it? And then hit them on the counter. Gary Ward says, howdy. James Hardwick says, afternoon fellas, happy with the performance yesterday. All the lads put in a real shift, promising going forward. Hopefully we can snatch the win on Wednesday. Yannick Melendez says, I think a point was a positive result and the game plan was well done by the players. No scapegoats, no one really to blame, as we haven't played roughly for 100 days. Both teams had some rush, but we were unlucky not to snatch a late goal. Carlo, spot on with the game plan. Coleman was the best player. Job done. On to Norwich. Gary Ward responding to you saying we should leave them in the car park. So make them dress at Anfield and walk across the park. Andrew Hughes says, great game, but don't like the playing out from the back. So nervous. And then Keith says, what's the game again today? Coleman was brilliant against the combative Mane. I also get what Baz said last night in regards to Tom messing around in his own half and giving the ball away not many times. Otherwise, he was the best midfield player for him. Hate to say this, but 5 years ago, I didn't rate Jordan Henderson at all. Must be the most improved player over a 5-year period. Sorry to say, but credit due. And as Carlo said, no one deserved to lose. It is interesting, that one on Henderson, isn't it? Because a lot of us did kind of give him stick, and it was a head scratcher of like what people see in him, because he was bang average. But since Klopp come in, that's what good managers do. He's really improved him. I think he's excellent for Liverpool now. Hopefully that's what Ancelotti can do with us, improve some of those players.
There you go. As I said,
first final word live on it.
Yeah, we've done it live for the first time. Get your thoughts in the comments. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to watch these final words live and get involved in the conversation as we're doing the show, then join us on Patreon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. See you later.